All right. So one thing I wanted to talk to you guys today about is digestion. So, when it comes to fat loss, a lot of people they focus on what calories, macros, working out, sleep for some people, right? But while all these are very crucial to shedding body fat, digestion gets overlooked a lot of the time. But it's going to play a massive role in how our bodies process nutrients. It regulates our hunger and our hunger signaling. And then ultimately on the back end aids in burning fat. Right now, if your digestion isn't functioning optimally, it can slow your progress, making you feel bloated and sluggish, and even sabotage your fat loss efforts. So, in this call today, I want to break down number one how digestion works in a very basic sense. We don't want to be on this call for 6 hours, right? In a very basic sense of how digestion works, what its role is in fat loss, and then how to improve that to get better results. So, if we just dive into the basics of digestion, so digestion is going to be the process by which your body breaks down food into those absorbable nutrients, right? So it all starts in the mouth, obviously, where you chew your food and saliva starts to break down that food that you're chewing, and it continues down into the stomach, into the intestines, where those digestive enzymes and your gut bacteria further process the food that you have just ate. So now there are a couple key players in digestion. Keep in mind, this is the basics of digestion. This is not all of them, but the main four, for me at least, are going to be enzymes, which helps break down these macronutrients down into smaller absorbable molecules, right? And then we have the stomach acid itself. This is going to assist in breaking down the proteins and killing any kind of harmful bacteria that gets into your stomach. And this can be a little bit iffy, right? Because that's kind of where gut issues come from, is from an overgrowth in a bacteria. So, or an overgrowth in the wrong kind of bacteria, right? And then that plays into the next one, which is the gut of bacteria. That's the third one. The ones that we're supposed to have, or the certain ratio, those play a certain role in nutrient absorption, inflammation control, and just overall digestive health. And then the last one, well, two, I guess, liver and the gallbladder. They produce bile, which can help digest fats specifically. And so, if any of these processes are impaired, it can lead to bloating, poor nutrient absorption, and even fat storage. It's kind of like a domino effect. Once any of those fall, then all the other ones just get messed up as well too. So now, if we look how digestion actually affects fat loss, number one is going to boil down to nutrient absorption and metabolism. So your body relies on nutrients, obviously, to survive, right? If you don't put anything in, you're going to die at some point in time, right? So it's going to rely on nutrients like protein, fats, carbohydrates, all these to fuel that metabolism and keep that fat burning, fat oxidation moving in the right direction. Now, if your digestion is poor, you might not absorb these nutrients very well, leading to deficiencies that can slow down your metabolism and energy production. For example, if your stomach acid is low, it can lead to poor digestion, affecting muscle growth, recovery, and then let's say like a lack of digestive enzymes. They can make it harder to break down fats that you have just eaten, meaning that your body isn't going to efficiently get the nutrients from the fats that you just took in, right? So if those digestive enzymes are low, and you just ate a good bit of fats, then the majority of them aren't going to be processed, if that makes sense. Basically, if you can't break down your food and absorb the nutrients from it, it's pointless. Um, Number two is going to be blood sugar regulation. So digestion is going to play a direct role in blood sugar control. So when you consume carbohydrates, they break down into glucose, which then enters your bloodstream. And if your digestion is slow or it's dysfunctional, it can cause blood sugar spikes and crashes, which are going to lead to cravings and fat storage. So that's one big issue there. Now, a well-functioning digestive system is going to ensure that a steady release of that glucose pretty much helps maintain that stable energy levels and helps reduce the likelihood of you getting that craving and just overeating, right? Um, then we move into gut health and inflammation. Now, kind of like what we was talking about before, that bacteria in your gut. This is essentially your gut microbiome. This is a collection of the bacteria in your digestive tract. This is going to affect everything from digestion to fat storage, and in our reality, some people, and I would agree, claim that your gut is your second brain because there's so much. Really, every process in your body is somehow tied together into your gut microbial. So if that's off, a lot of other things are off, much less digestion, but that balanced gut microbiome is going to promote proper digestion and helps regulate that inflammation as well too, where inflammation can be caused by, poor digestion. This leads to insulin resistance, making it harder for your body to burn fat efficiently. I mean, now on the flip side of that, though, a healthy gut microbiome is going to do wonders for just not only for your digestion, but just overall health, right? Um, but if we're speaking in terms of digestion, it's going to help promote better metabolic function and fat oxidation as well too. And then moving on to the last one, uh, hormonal balance, hunger signals, kind of the same thing. So digestive health, the health of your digestive system influences key hormones like ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone, and then you have leptin, which is your satiety hormone. Now, if your digestion is off and your hunger signals get dysregulated, right, it's going to lead to constant cravings and overeating. So, if your ghrelin is, let's see, if your ghrelin is high, which is the hunger hormone, you're going to cause you to overeat. And then if your leptin is lower, right, again, it's just kind of like it's a double-edged sword. Um, if those are off, it more than likely is going to lead to just overeating episodes. And that's really not your fault in essence. It's just because your hormones are just out of whack. Just what it boils that down to. Now, if we want to talk about how to improve your digestion for better fat loss, these are going to be pretty common knowledge to all of you here. Number one is prioritize whole nutrient dense foods. Eat a diet that's going to be fiber rich, full of vegetables, fruits, whole grains. This is going to support regular bowel movements and support that gut microbiome, especially on the fiber side of things. You want your fiber to equate to about 14 grams of fiber per 1,000 calories. Now, there are exceptions to this, right? Like once you get to eating a ton of food, 3, 4, 5, 6,000 calories, that ratio does not stay true, right? I think for males, it's like 38 grams or so is the max that you want to get in fiber. And I think females is, don't quote me, but I think it's like 25 to 30, somewhere in there, as like your max out level as far as how much fiber that you should have, no matter what your caloric intake is. Um, Essentially, fiber acts as a broom to sweep all that buildup out of your body. So having fibrous foods in your plan essentially is going to help keep that digestion moving in the right direction. um, Incorporating lean protein and consuming healthy fats. Avocados, nuts, um, nut oils. Avocado oil, virgin olive oil, macadamia nut oil, things like that. And then number two is supporting your stomach acid and your enzyme production. So one big thing here is you need to chew your food thoroughly, like Jacob's doing, to kickstart digestion in your mouth. So, like if you, like me, for instance, I just drank a shake. Right now, this shake is very nutrient dense, but I also ate a banana with it as well too. So, um, as I was drinking the shake, I would drink a little bit of it, eat a banana. As I was chewing the banana up, those digestive enzymes started to come out and then down the stomach. To whereas if I just drink this, I'm not getting a ton of digestive enzymes with just this because I'm not chewing anything, right? When you start chewing stuff, the banana accompanied with the shake, um, it puts those digestive enzymes into your stomach to help break down the shake, if that makes sense. Um, so again, if you're taking, something like that, like a shake, to make sure that you have some kind of food around that meal to make sure that those digestive enzymes are being are produced, and as easy as I can explain it, sent down the esophagus with your food. Now, this is a touchy one. If you have gut issues already, I do not recommend that you do this. But if you have a healthy microbiome, consume fermented foods, yogurt, kimchi, sauerkraut, things like that. These are going to introduce beneficial bacteria, excuse me, to your gut. Now, if you have gut issues and you're having a an overload of fermentation going on inside of your gut, adding more fermented foods is not what you should do, right? That just sounds dumb, right? If you have a fire and try to put it out, you don't put gas on it, you put water on it, right? It's kind of the same thing. Um, in the end, you can consider adding in some digestive enzymes, which a huge, I'm not a huge fan of this, for the simple fact of that these digestive enzymes, were they sitting in a hot warehouse for 6 months, and then they were on a tractor trailer and on the 100 degree highway for a 2 day trip, and then you're like, oh, these live cultures of digestive enzymes are going to be good to go? Probably not, right? If you think about it from that standpoint, they're probably damaged in some aspects. That's why that I recommend apple cider vinegar to really everybody that I work with, and here's the main reason: apple cider vinegar can increase your stomach's acidity levels to better aid in digestion. So it's going to bring that acidity level up and help you better digest food. I'm not a fan of the gummies because it's it's a gummy, right? The actual liquid that you drink, um, it's potent, right? It's nasty. It's None of us enjoy drinking that, but it helps. Um, Number three is going to be managing stress. This is pretty basic for anything that you do, right? Chronic stress is going to negatively impact digestion just as a whole. It's going to increase inflammation, and where inflammation comes in, things start to go wrong. So just managing stress the best that you can, will help your digestion out as well too. Another easy one: stay hydrated. Um, I don't know the best way to explain this, but if you don't have enough liquid in your diet to move things through, you're going to get backed up. Just what it is, right? Um, so you need water, enough water in your plan to where the food that you're eating is still modal, right? It's still moving. If you have a bucket of concrete, right, and you just mix it, it's very liquidy, very flowy. It pours out easily. But if you let it sit and you don't add any more water to it, it gets hard, right? It's kind of the same analogy, but still not having enough water in your diet itself, just in your day-to-day life, slows things down. So I got this, making sure that I stay hydrated. And there's a lot of different variables that go into how much water that you should intake in a day. Everybody's different. It boils down to gender, age, level, climate as well too. But just drink a half a gallon to at least a gallon a day, and you should be fine. Um, and then the last thing is just optimizing your meal timing and your portion control. So if you eat large meals too quickly, it's going to overwhelm your digestive system. It's just like if you take a shredder and you put 30 pages into a shredder at one time, right? It's not gonna shred it. It's gonna bog down. You got to pull it back out and pull them pages apart. Start doing it one by one, right? It's the same thing over your digestive tract. You can't put too much in it at one time. Try smaller, more frequent meals if that is an issue, and then just avoid eating too close to bedtime. Now, I don't believe and there's a cutoff that you should stop eating. I almost commented on somebody's Facebook post the other day, but I'm getting a little more reserved with how I respond to people. They were like, "Oh yeah, if you want to shed body fat, do these three things," and one of them was stop eating at six p.m. I was like, "No, I eat two meals in between 6 and 10 o'clock, so I don't have a ton of body fat on me. So obviously your claim is wrong, but I'm not going to say that. But with that being said, if you go to bed at 10, don't eat your last meal at 9:50. Be done with it at 9, right? Allow your body some time to start that digestive process. You don't want to eat a big meal and then go lay down, right? If you think about gravity, right? I just ate this banana in this shake, right? Gravity is helping my food move down through my system, right? If I was to eat this and then go lay down, I'm flat. Gravity is doing nothing here to help move from my head down to the exit point, right? So again, you kind of have to just use some common knowledge. If you're going to eat a ton of food right before bed and your stomach is bloated and your stomach hurts, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go lay down. No, it's not going to move properly through. So, just give your body 30 minutes to an hour to process that food and move it in the right direction. Um, so, really, out of all of this, digestion is more than just breaking down food, right? It's going to be a key player in how your body burns body fat, regulates hunger, and maintains its energy levels. So, keep in mind, all that being said, a well functioning digestive system isn't just about feeling less bloated because some bloat is going to be normal. There's just it's going to happen, right? But it's about keeping things moving in the right direction to where the things that you put in, you're getting the quality nutrients from it and then excreting it properly. You don't want to be eating food and not using the bathroom, but every couple of days, right? That's definitely not fun, and we all know very common sense, group here. That's not good. So, outside of that, that's pretty much all that I got as far as digestion goes. So, anybody got any questions with anything about how any of that stuff works, or any questions at all?
I actually do have two. So one, whenever you talk about like eating with a shake or something, like, is that, would you say like it's better to obviously eat something with a shake, like whether or not it's blueberries or like whatever? Because typically, like the way that I have things timed is like I do have a shake later, but typically I don't believe I'm eating anything with it really per se. So,
So, this is this is one whole meal for me. This is a meal, but this don't add in anything extra, right? So I
right,
could blend a banana and
sure.
drink this whole thing just in one gulp, right? But I keep the banana out to keep the digestive enzymes moving.
Okay.
So, like, if you have a shake and it's got protein powder, blueberries, a banana, almond butter, maybe just keep a handful of those blueberries out of the shake, or,
Gotcha.
half the banana out of the shake, and then eat the banana or the almond butters instead of blending it. Now, I do know of people who this is good. And this just sounds so dumb. It's so inconvenient, but they'll do something like a shake, and they'll eat ice cubes in between drinks. So they'll drink a third of this, grab an ice cube, start chewing on it, and then they drink it, or they swallow it, and then they'll drink another third, another ice cube, and it works, right? But you got to be in an office setting to have ice cubes or out of your cooler. I just find it easier to just take something out of that plan shake and just eat it instead of having to do something extra like that. So
Gotcha. And then my other question was in the morning with like that gut health shot. I know you mentioned the apple cider vinegar part of it. Is the lemon juice also for the acidity as well? Is that what that's
yes,
for?
yes,
Okay.
it's kind of just it's giving it some variety, I guess. It can be used for more like a micronutrient and a vitamin mineral side of things as well too. I mean, I've recently just started adding that in, really to make the drink more potent, I think is the best way to put it. But some people can't handle both, and then some people can't handle just apple cider vinegar. And if you can't, that's fine. Um, it's not enjoyable by no means, but it definitely helps for sure. So, I mean, if you're having issues with both, take the lemon juice out and just use the apple cider vinegar. So,
I've kind of grown to like mine, but
oof, I don't know about that. I think it'll wake you up if you're having a hard time waking up in the morning. As soon as you get up, down that your throat will be on fire. That's for sure. That's for sure. But Miss Roxanne or Ernesto, y'all got anything or y'all good?
I got a question. I think I already asked you this very, very early on in our journey, but most of my meals I feel like are like I have three meals, but a lot of the times, except for dinner, I spread it out not on purpose, but simply because I'm not sure how else to do it. But I'll spread it out over 2 hours. So, for example, this morning with breakfast, I work out in the morning too. So before I left the house to go to the gym, I had a bagel and some fruit. I went to the gym, and that was just to get something in my system so I wouldn't pass out at the gym or anything like that. So I go to the gym, and after the gym, I drive to work, which is an hour. And then at work, I'll have, eggs and a granola bar or something when I get there. And by the time I'm done with my doing air quotes breakfast, it'll be 9 o'clock. Is that bad for digestion? I mean, should I be trying to just jam everything in before the gym or just jam everything in after the gym? Yeah,
Nope, nope.
that's my
I mean, probably the best way to explain this is just, I mean, if you, as far as like scheduling goes, if you have to break it up into smaller meals, I would rather you do that than you put one huge log of food on your stomach, right? Think of it from a water standpoint. If I was to chug this entire gallon right here, I would have a water baby. My stomach would be pushed out, right? Now, if I drink this slowly over a span of 2 or 3 hours, is it going to do that? No. But if you put one big bolus of food on your stomach at one time, it's going to bog your digestion down, not just for a couple hours, but probably the whole day. So,
okay.
so
Yeah, because
yeah,
right now it's the morning was fine. I didn't go to the gym in the morning, but I'm going in about 20 minutes, and I'm eating rice and chicken in the car, cold rice and chicken. Gotta love it. But then after the gym, I'm gonna have some yogurt, some nuts, and I'm like, or do I just eat it all beforehand? Just go to the gym. That would probably be
nope,
uncomfortable, but
yep, yep, well, yep, and I was going to add that, but you said it. So I mean, if you're going to the gym with a big meal in your stomach, even if it's like easily digestible foods like rice and chicken, I mean, who wants to do a leg press with a full stomach? Not me.
uh-uh.
I don't want to have an accident. So definitely not eating a big meal beforehand either. And I mean, I have in the past. There has been times to where I would work a 12-hour day shift and then go to the gym and then have, one meal left to eat at night, but I've got 5 meals on my stomach, and those workouts were awful. So what I would have to do is like if I got off at 6 in the afternoon and I would work out at 6:15, my last meal at work would be like 3 o'clock. So I would have a good 3.5 hours to digest that food. Whereas if I ate closer to getting off at 6, I'm still having a ton of food on my stomach. So for sure, spacing them out, that's no issue at all. So
Gotcha. The other thing you said that made me feel a lot better is eating at night. Like I've been trying to not eat after 8 o'clock. That's really hard, especially when you eat dinner like we did this past weekend at like
yeah,
5:30. I was like, that's a long stretch before going to bed. I'm like, I gotta be able to eat something. So yeah, just
yeah,
make sure I got an hour in of digestion.
yeah,
Right.
at least. Yeah, I would say so for sure.
Cool.
Miss Roxanne, did you have a question?
Hi.
Hi.
No, you said something about enzymes. So do you think that it's fine to take enzymes after every meal? Something happened with my food on Sunday. It was the exact same thing, but my stomach was like so uncomfortable. I downed like 5 enzymes and I felt better the next morning.
Okay.
But is
Okay.
that something like I can just take every day on the daily after my meals?
You could, um, you could, what I would do is probably start doing one after each meal, and then as do that for a week and see how you feel, and then on your most easily digestible meal, take that one away. And just see if you
Okay.
can slowly taper it back. So you might only need one or two, right? And you might could take one. Let's say if you wake up at 6 a.m., you take one at 6, and then maybe at 2 o'clock, it could kind of help spread you out, during the day. Five might be overkill, and it's probably going to be expensive too. So, um, you can start out with, if you're doing one after each meal, that's fine. See how you feel, but I would slowly taper that back to as little as you can get by. So,
Okay. And one more thing. So my pre-workout meal, sometimes I will eat my pre-workout meal before my 4 a.m. gym sessions, but
okay,
I normally don't finish all of it. It's just to get something in my system, and I'll
yep,
finish the other half after my workout. And then
that's
my
perfect.
post-workout meal is like 2 hours later or something.
That's
So
fine.
that's
Yep, that's
good.
fine.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay, great.
the biggest thing with the post-workout meal that a lot of people get wrong is, there's been plenty of times where I see dudes that'll be in the gym, that they'll have a container of cereal ready to go. Once they get in the car, they're going to down that cereal. Well, we all know what our that fight or flight response is, right? And your body is still in that fight mode. And when it's in that mode, there's no digestion going on. So you're just putting food into your stomach. It's kind of like it's in the waiting room, right? And then once your
Mm,
body goes to that more sympathetic state, then it can start digesting
yeah,
food. And
just give
me,
me 1 minute.
me, me
Brandon's down there.
personally, me personally, I don't eat my post workout meal until 30 minutes to an hour after I get done training. So I really take my time and not really try to force anything down at all. So, but yeah, outside of that, um, I appreciate all the questions from everybody. That was very, um, what's the word? I'm glad for the questions, I guess. So
Collaborative.
yes, there you go. Yep, there's a collaborative effort. There we go. Cool deal. All right. Well, yep, I'll let you guys go. I think I've gotten all of y'all's check-ins done. So I believe so. Yep. So yeah, outside of that, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right. See ya.
See y'all. Y'all be
Thank you.
good.